Before that, though, the pros and cons of gentrification has been much debated, especially as swathes of London have been bought up to build flats. Now, a non-league football club in Dulwich has been forced from its stadium after the land was sold and a row broke out over how to develop it. But is the local council poised to buy it back? Here's Chris Legg.
Match days at Dulwich Hamlet are colourful, passionate and vibrant. Champion Hill has been their home for 87 years, but for now it's home no more. They've been locked out by the property developers who own the site, Meadow Residential.
I mean, it's shocking really. The actions of Meadow, our landowner, have been spiteful and they've used us as leverage in their battle with the council, and ultimately we are the victims.
So Dulwich are now locked out of their ground and these barriers have gone up. Now, when Meadow signed their agreement with Dulwich back in 2014, they said that they would fund the club. The plan was they were going to build flats on this stadium, but provide Dulwich with a new home right next door. Southwark Council, though, turned down that application last year, partly because of a lack of affordable housing. And then the relationship turned sour. Meadow stopped funding the football club. They then claimed they were owed £120,000 in rent. And last week, Dulwich were told they could no longer play here. Fans will now have to travel 8 miles to watch home games at Tooting and Mitcham FC.
I mean, this is our home. This is where we should be. It's really quite a sorry state that we're not going to be here.
I think Meadows really do not know how important this is to the local community. They're New York based. They don't really get a great understanding of communities in London.
At a meeting this afternoon, Southwark Council were expected to wade through a motion to begin attempts to acquire the land and restore Dulwich to their rightful home. Are you confident that you can convince Meadow to sell without this being pushed all the way to a potential CPO?
I hope Meadow will sell because it's important that we secure the future of the football club. It's important actually that the bit of the site that can be developed for housing is delivered as housing, and I just hope, as I say, that we can do a deal with them sooner rather than later.
Meadow failed to respond to our request for a statement today, but last week blamed the club and Southwark Council for failing to enter into dialogue with them. For now, the future of Dulwich Hamlet lies away from Dulwich.
And Chris, has there been a final decision from the council?
Yes, there has indeed. I will bring you that from the boardroom here at Tooting and Mitcham Football Club, which is where Dulwich have been forced into exile. It doesn't feel like home. They're trying to make it feel at home. Everyone here is drinking out of their lovely pink and blue Dulwich Hamlet Football Club mugs. But yes, Southwark Council did indeed vote this afternoon to release the funds to bid to buy that site back from Meadow Residential. Might take a very long time to do so, though, 2 or 3 years if it goes all the way to a CPO. Now, I can speak to the vice chairman of Dulwich Hamlet Football Club, John Leakey. Good news, but the protests are going to continue, aren't they? You need to keep the pressure on Meadow.
Yes, definitely, without a doubt. We're hoping between 700 and 1,000 of our fans will be there on Saturday with some guest speakers there to put pressure on them. The honourable thing to do now is to sell and go and let us get back to our house.
And that's going to be a march through Dulwich. What do you make of the situation you've ended up in?
It's nothing to do with Dulwich Hamlet Football Club. It's between developers and the council who have had a falling out. We're in the middle and they've made us pay. They've been very nasty towards us, and it's very unfair. This club's been going for 125 years. We do a lot of things in the community. And, they've taken that away from us.
OK, thank you very much indeed. John Leakey there, the Vice Chairman of Dulwich Hamlet Football Club. So this is very much a home from home here. They're very grateful to Tooting and Mitcham for letting them play here, but Dulwich Hamlet would much rather move back to their real home. And the pressure now is they will continue to exert on Meadow Residential to try and get back there as soon as possible.
OK, Chris, thanks very much for that update. Chris Legg.